It's March 31st, 2023, and I've just been laid off from my role as a project manager. I was running several contracts across the United Kingdom on behalf of the UK government, and unfortunately, myself and a few others had our contracts end early. I was devastated, not so much because I lost the job, but mainly because I had no other job lined up. I was devastated because I had been searching for a couple of months already. In fact, 3 months I've been searching for work, but to no avail. And bear in mind, I have a track record of always landing jobs, just impressing the socks of interviewers. But this time I've been searching for roles since January because I had an inkling that something like this would happen, but still nothing. And so when March 31st hit and I was laid off, I had no idea how my bills would be paid. I had no idea how I was going to put food on my table. I had no idea how I was going to pay off my debts. I had no clue when my next money would come in. And so for the next few months, I was panicking. I was searching for jobs. I was getting interviews. I even made it as far as the third final stage interview, but I still didn't get through. And what baffled me was that I didn't get through because I lacked the expertise or the skills or the knowledge, but simply because of my age. My age was a barrier because I didn't have the years of experience that they wanted. So even though I made it to the third and final stage interview, and the hiring manager loved me, and they even said to me, you would make a great fit on our team because of the fact that I probably had 2 or 3 years of experience in management, whereas the next person probably had six, seven, eight, nine, or 10, I was obviously disqualified from the position. So I found myself in a bit of a dilemma. I had no clue what I was going to do. I can't get a job. I can't step down because to step down means to take a pay cut. And no way am I taking a pay cut when the cost of living is soaring high like crazy. I was already on a really good salary job. And there's absolutely no way that I can imagine taking a pay cut. It was already tough on that paycheck alone with the cost of living. So no way can I take a pay cut. And even if I did want to take a pay cut, no job would take me on because guess what? They would think, well, Rachel, you're not serious. Why are you stepping down? And then for me to go up the ladder, that was a struggle because I would get interviews. People were impressed by my resume. But then when it came down to the final hiring decision, it always went to someone who had more years of experience than me. And so I became very much depressed, very distraught because I had no idea what I was going to do. I felt like I had gone so far in my career. I had visited these multiple promotions, worked my way up the ladder into management, and here I am at the age of 23, and I'm distraught because there's no way that I can turn to build my career. Where am I going to go from here? And that not just my career is at stake, my credit score had gone ridiculously low because I wasn't able to pay my debts. I had credit card companies constantly calling me. My bank was constantly calling me. I was in the red with my bank all the time. Couldn't pay off my debts, couldn't pay off my bills. At the same time, my fridge freezer had more air in it and ice and water than food. And so it was a real struggle. It got so bad that I had to wonder, how am I going to get food for the next meal? But here I am, 1 year later, well, just over a year later, April 2024. And between January and April of this year alone, I have made over $62,000, not from a full-time job. I haven't worked since, but I've made it from my side hustles. And I'm going to teach you two essential principles that took me from there, where I was in 2023, being depressed, out of work, credit score ridiculously low, just living in accommodation that was very crowded and unsanitary, to where I am now, making over $62,000 within the first quarter of the year, having a six-figure income, being able to move myself and my family out into a large four-bedroom house in a new development, beautiful neighborhood. How was I able to accomplish all that and still have money left over to go on vacation and travel the world this year? I just want to remind you, if you're new to my channel, my name is Rachel Wells. Don't forget to click like and to share and to subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be sharing with you tons of tips and ideas on how you can generate income, passive income, and have financial freedom and career success with side hustles and entrepreneurship. How you can escape the rat race and how you can actually enjoy a fulfilling career, whether you work in a corporate world or whether you want to just go full time as an entrepreneur with your side hustle. So, back into the story. This channel is all dedicated towards giving you those tips and advice. So obviously I'm not going to be sharing everything with you in this video, but I'm going to share with you two things that I did that took me from where I was last year to where I am today. The first thing I did is number one, I believe we all have gold potential within us. And I had no other choice but to tap into my existing skill set. A lot of people say to me, well, I don't know where to start. And people come to me for advice all the time, like, how do I gain financial freedom? How do I set up a side hustle? I don't know where to start. I'm not really that good at anything. I don't know what I'm good at. What unique thing do I have to offer to the world? And the number one thing I've got to tell you is, by virtue of the fact that you have some sort of experience in an industry, even if it's just 2 or 3 years, if I can do it, and I had hardly any experience when I started my business in 2019, more on that later. But if I could do it with just 2 or 3 years of experience behind me as a manager in management roles, so can you. I didn't have much quantity of experience, but I had quality of experience. And it's the quality of your skills and expertise that counts, not the years. It's what you learn and what you do during the time that you're at work, that you are in the corporate world, that counts, that sets you up for success, should you choose, or when you choose, when you decide to venture out and start your side hustle. And so I had a choice. I could either sit down, fold my hands, fold my arms, have a pity party, feel sorry for myself, and still be out of work, even up to this day, still be in the red and over my head with debt and everything. Or I had the decision, I had to make the decision to say, you know what, I have some expertise, I have some skills and experience that I've gained in my previous roles as a manager. Look, I've worked my way up the ladder several times. I clearly know a thing or two about leadership and career success. Let me turn my expertise, my existing skill sets that I already have into a side hustle. And so that's precisely what I did. I took my leadership expertise, the things that I had learned, the quality of the experience, not the quantity, the quality of the experience, and I pulled from it. I thought, how many clients did I help? How many teams did I manage? And I've gathered the metrics together for my career, and I pulled from my experiences, and I turned those things into a side hustle, or into multiple side hustles, should I say. I turned those things into knowledge that I can deliver in the form of coaching, in the form of writing for Forbes, freelance writing for several publications, in the form of interviews for publicity to build my personal brand, in the form of sharing content on LinkedIn, which made me a LinkedIn top voice this year. All these things because I tapped into my existing skill set, my existing expertise. And my expertise was within leadership and career development from my job. And so I took that and I made it work for me. And so my thing to you is, we all have something that we can bring to the table. No one is completely clueless. No one is dumb. No one has nothing. The fact that you have some level of experience in an industry, you need to ask yourself, not the wrong question to ask is, how many years do I have? You know, when an employer comes to you and they look at your resume, they'll be like, how many years of experience do you have? But when it comes to yourself, that's the wrong question to ask. When you're working for yourself as an entrepreneur, the question you should be asking yourself is, what's the quality of the experience I've had? What have I learned during that time, during my time in this job or previous job? What skills have I gained? Have I developed? What things can I take from there that I can put into money and make it work for me? And the fact is, the fact that you know something that someone else doesn't, as long as it's in demand, that's good enough reason for you to turn it into a side hustle. So I know plenty of things about leadership and career development and career success, and I know it's an in-demand, um, it's a sought after, highly sought after expertise and skill set that I have. And so I'm able to make that work for me and monetize it. So that was the main thing that I did. And the other thing that I did is I would always recommend that people start off with, whenever you have a job, no matter how cushy it is, no matter how comfortable you are in that role, even if you cannot ever foresee a layoff, because we've had tons of layoffs this year, which kind of rocked our boats. But even if you can't even imagine having a layoff in your job, always have a plan B, and B stands for backup. Plan B means never get too comfortable, never get so settled in a job that you don't create an empire or create something for yourself. I remember that's something my mother always told me when I started my full-time career. I started off as a corporate, as a career coach, and I worked my way up the ladder into management. My mother told me, never get so settled in your job, no matter how nice they are, they can easily flip, they don't owe you anything. Never get so comfortable or settled that when push comes to shove, when your contract ends, whatever happens, you get laid off, you are stuck. And so thankfully, because I had something on the side, in addition to tapping into my skill set and my knowledge, I was able to build something that exploded. And this year, in January, I became a LinkedIn top voice with Blue Badge, LinkedIn top voice. Last year, I was a Forbes contributor. This year, in February, I won the Silver Young Business Person of the Year award from the London Chamber of Commerce. And these are just a few of the things that have really made me stand out in my career since I made the decision last year to say, you know what? I'm not going to accept a no from employers. I'm going to say yes to myself. And as a result, I was able to move away from financial insecurity, the depression that surrounded me being laid off, and actually have financial freedom. And actually just experience the success that I would never have had not being able to get this house if I was working for an employer. Because I'm working for myself, I'm able to afford my office, I'm able to afford my house, I'm able to afford to live in a new development, new neighborhood. And so my question to you is, what are you going to do today to create your level of success for yourself in your career? You don't need to wait for an employer to tell you yes. You can say yes to yourself and experience career and financial success. And I always, always, no matter what happens, I always give God the glory because I'm a Christian. And I understand that all my success comes from him. And I understand that the reason why I am where I am today is because he gave me the skills to be able to turn it into expertise that I can deliver to people in the form of content, in the form of the articles that I write for Forbes, on LinkedIn, all the content I produce and the information and advice that I share and the coaching that I give is because of the knowledge and expertise and opportunities that God lined me up for, so that I can give it back to him and so that I can have a fulfilling career and financial success. And so I want you to remember that you have also been gifted with skills and talents and all the opportunities, the career opportunities, the job opportunities that you've had in the past. God has given it to you all for this moment so that you can be financially free and secure. So you don't have to be tied down to an employer, but you can really experience financial freedom and success and create the life that you want. Travel the world, get a big house, do what you want to do, live life on your own terms. And I just want to leave you with this. Don't forget, Jesus said, I have come that they might have life and have it more abundantly.